You felt it, haven't you? That pulse beneath your skin, that electricity running through your veins. It's not just a fleeting sensation. It's a signal, a wake-up call, a raw, undeniable force that's been dormant too long. You're not imagining it. This isn't some random spark. This is the first crack in the shell of who you thought you were, splitting wide open to reveal who you're becoming. The person who left, the one who stumbled through the dark, who bowed under the weight of doubt and dismissal, is not the person who's returning. You're stepping back into the world transformed, and no one, not even you, could have predicted the magnitude of this shift. That pulse isn't subtle. It's a jolt, a surge that hits you square in the chest and races down your spine. Science might call it adrenaline, a flood of neurons firing at once, but you know it's more than biology. It's your soul snapping back into alignment, a frequency spiking so high it drowns out the noise of everything that tried to bury you. You catch yourself standing taller, breathing deeper, as if your lungs are remembering how to take in life again. Look at your hands. Do they tremble with it? That's not fear. That's power waking up, coursing through you like a current with nowhere to ground itself yet. This is your first taste of the awakening, and it's not here to ask permission. People around you won't get it, not at first. They'll stare, surprised, maybe even stunned into silence, because the you they knew is gone. The eyes they see now, they're alive again, burning with a fire that was once extinguished. You'll feel their shock before they say a word. Let them gape. This isn't about their comfort. It's about you recognizing what's been there all along. Start here. Pay attention to that pulse. When does it hit hardest? When you're alone with your thoughts. When you refuse to shrink anymore. Track it. Feel it. It's your compass now, pointing you toward the truth of who you are. Here's how you know it's real. Look at you. Just look at you now. Stand in front of the mirror and meet your own gaze. Do you recognize the face staring back? Not the one you've worn to survive. Not the mask you've carried to keep the peace. This is different. Those eyes, they're not pleading or searching anymore. They're ignited. That electricity in your veins isn't random chaos. It's the hum of a system rebooting, a circuit completing itself. You're not just alive, you're awake. Ask yourself, when did you last feel this? Maybe never. That's fine. This is day one, and you don't need anyone else's timeline. Don't rush past the surprise of it. You'll want to. Part of you might even fight it because this kind of power feels too big, too wild. Let it stun you. Let it sink in that the person you were is shedding like dead skin, and what's underneath is sharper, stronger, unbreakable. The shift isn't quiet or polite. It's a thunderclap in your bones, and it demands you pay attention. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Feel that current move through you and claim it. You're not here to wonder if you're worthy, you are. That pulse is proof. So how do you step into this? Start simple but fierce. Watch yourself like you're your own witness. Notice when that electricity flares, when you speak your truth, when you stop apologizing, when you choose yourself over the expectations that tried to cage you. Write it down if you have to. Mark the moments when you feel that fire under your skin and don't let them slip by. Those are your clues, your markers, your evidence. You're not guessing anymore. You're collecting the pieces of your own becoming. The world won't hand you this awakening on a platter. It never does. You've been underestimated, overlooked, maybe even crushed, but that's over now. That pulse? It's your signal to stop waiting for permission. You're not here to fit in or play small. You're here to rise, and this transformation is beyond anything they, or even you, could have imagined. Feel it. Own it. You're not just waking up, you're remembering. The person who left is gone. The person returning? They're unstoppable. They thought you were finished. They thought you were done. You can still hear it, can't you? The whispers, the smirks, the pitying glances from those who wrote you off. Maybe it was a friend who stopped checking in, a colleague who assumed you'd fade away, or even a voice in your own head that echoed their doubt. They saw you stumble, saw you bleed, and decided that was the end of your story. But here's the truth they missed. You're not done. You're not even close. That pulse beneath your skin, it's not a flicker of defeat. It's a war drum, pounding louder with every breath. telling you you're ready to step into your power now. Let's face it, the world loves a good collapse. People gather around a fall like it's a spectator sport, ready to nod and say, I knew it. They thought your silence meant surrender. Your scars meant weakness. Wrong. That quiet wasn't defeat. It was you gathering strength, coiling tight like a spring about to snap. Science backs this. Your nervous system doesn't just recover from stress. It adapts, rewires, grows stronger under pressure. That electricity in your veins is not random. It's your body and soul syncing up, surging with a force that says you're built for this. They misread the signs. You're not broken, you're breaking through. So how do you face them? How do you stand tall in a room full of people who've already buried you in their minds? You don't owe them explanations. You don't need their approval. Start by feeling that pulse. Yes, that one, right now. Can you feel it? Can't you? That thud beneath your ribs? That heat climbing your spine? It's not just a feeling. It's your anchor. When they stare, when they question, when they try to drag you back into their small version of you, lock into that rhythm. It's your proof. You don't argue with them. You don't beg them to see. You show them by standing there, unapologetic, alive, radiating a power they can't touch. Here's the practical move. Shift your ground. Stop wasting energy on their disbelief. You're not here to convince anyone who's already checked out. Step away, physically, mentally, energetically. Surround yourself with what fuels that pulse. People who see your fire, places that ignite your clarity, actions that make your blood sing. If they're still stuck on the old you, let them choke on their own assumptions. You're not that person anymore. Neuroscience calls this selective attention. Your brain filters what aligns with your focus. Tune out their noise. Tune into your signal. You're not hiding, you're choosing your battlefield. Now, let's get real about that power waking up inside you. You can feel it, can't you? That pulse isn't just a beat. It's a current. Like someone slammed defibrillator paddles to your chest and shouted, clear! Breathe in, breathe out. You're being resuscitated. Not just physically but spiritually, emotionally, completely. This isn't a gentle nudge from the universe. It's a full-on jolt, a demand to rise. Don't shy away from it. Lean in. Ask yourself, when does it hit hardest? When you say no to their limits. When you dare to want more. That's your cue. That's where your power lives. Here's how you wield it. Act. Not tomorrow, not when you're ready. Now. They thought you were finished, so prove them wrong with every step. Speak your truth, even if your voice shakes. Walk away from what dims you, even if it's uncomfortable. Chase what lights you up, even if it scares you. Each move builds momentum. Each choice turns that pulse into a roar. You're not waiting for permission or a perfect moment. You're ready to step into your power now because you are. Doubt might scream otherwise, but doubt's a liar. Trust the evidence in your bones. The pressure won't stop. They'll keep pushing, testing, waiting for you to crack. Good. Let them try. You've got something they don't. That unshakable knowing pulsing through you. When they come at you with their skepticism or their pity, don't flinch. Stand in it. Feel that electricity surge and let it steady you. You're not here to shrink back into their story of you. You're here to rewrite it, to live it, to make it so loud they can't ignore it. Picture this. Every time they doubt you, that current in your veins gets stronger. It's fuel. Use it. This isn't about revenge or proving a point. It's bigger. It's about you claiming what's yours. They thought you were done because they couldn't see what's coming. But you can. That pulse? It's not just a sign of life. It's a promise. You're stepping into your power now, and it's not quiet or polite. It's fierce. It's yours, and it's unstoppable. Take a deep breath. Feel it rise. You're not finished. You're just getting started. You're not just waking up, you're plugging in. That power flowing through your very being is not a whisper or a hunch. It's a direct line, a high-voltage current streaming from dimensions you can't see but can damn well feel. This isn't random static. It's a download, a flood of information hitting you like a shockwave. Your reemergence isn't some quiet comeback. It's a force about to shake the foundations of everything and everyone around you. You're not here to tiptoe back into the world. You're here to break it open. Feel that surge in your chest? That's the signal. It's time to listen. This isn't your imagination playing tricks. When that power hits, it's sharp, clear as a bell ringing in your skull. You might feel it as a sudden knowing, a gut punch of certainty that cuts through the fog. Maybe it's a voice, not yours but deeper, dropping truth you didn't ask for but can't unhear. Science might call it intuition, a spike in neural activity lighting up your prefrontal cortex. But you know better. This is your soul syncing with something higher, a frequency beyond the noise of this world. It's not gentle, it's insistent. It demands you pay attention. Are you ready to receive it? Here's the catch. Not every signal is pure. Your mind's a messy filter, ego, fear, old wounds. They'll try to hijack the line, twist the message into something safe or small. So how do you tell the real from the fake? True high-dimensional info doesn't grovel or beg. It lands heavy, unshakable, like a stone dropped in still water. It doesn't care if you doubt it, it just is. Self-projection, that's flimsy, needy, full of what-ifs and second-guessing. Test it. Sit with the message. Does it hum with quiet strength, even if it scares you? Or does it unravel when you push back? You've got the discernment. Use it. Let's get practical. How do you tune in? Start by grounding yourself in the chaos. Sit still, breathe deep, feel that current move through you. Don't chase it. Let it come. Ask, what's mine to know? Then shut up and listen. Not with your ears, but with your bones. The answer might hit as a flash of clarity, a shiver down your spine, or a word you can't shake. Write it down fast, don't overthink it. Your logical brain will try to dissect it later, but the raw download is what matters. Do this daily. 5 minutes. No excuses. You're training your system to lock onto that signal. This rejuvenation is not random. It's not accidental. It's perfectly timed, and you can feel it. Can't you? That vitality flooding back into your spirit. You're not just recovering. You're remembering who you are. Every tear you shed, every crack you endured, it wasn't punishment. It was preparation, washing away what didn't belong. Now, you're stepping into a version of yourself so real it almost stings. Look at your hands, your reflection, the way you move. Do you feel it? You're more you than you've ever been. That's not a fluke. That's the plan unfolding. But it's not enough to feel it, you've got to work it. When that high-dimensional info drops, don't just sit there nodding. Act on it. If it tells you to move, move. If it says speak, open your mouth. If it screams rest, drop everything. The power flowing through you isn't passive. It's a call to arms. Try this. Next time you get a hit, a real one, set a deadline. 24 hours. Do one thing it points you toward. Small or big, doesn't matter, just move. That's how you turn the signal into momentum. That's how you build trust in the line. You'll know it's working when the world starts shifting. People will sense it. Some will lean in, drawn to your fire. Others will back off, spooked by what they can't name. Good. Your reemergence isn't here to coddle anyone. That power in your veins? It's rewriting your story, and the ripple's about to hit. Picture this. Every step you take with that info, every choice you make from that signal, it's a crack in the old foundation. Their doubt, their limits, their small ideas of you, they're crumbling. You're not just rising. You're reshaping everything. Don't flinch when it gets loud. The more you tune in, the stronger it flows. You might wake up buzzing, thoughts racing with ideas too big to hold. You might feel restless, like your skin's too tight for what's coming. That's normal. That's the download stretching you. Lean into it. Ask, what's next? And brace yourself. The answers won't always be comfortable. They'll push you, test you, dare you to grow. But you're built for this. That vitality in your spirit? It's proof. You're not guessing anymore, you're knowing. Here's the real trick. Stay open. The moment you think you've got it all figured out, the signal fades. This isn't a one-time blast, it's a live feed, and you're the receiver. Keep your hands off the dial. Doubt will creep in, whispering you're making it up, you're not enough, you've lost the plot. Shut it down. Go back to that pulse, that unshakable hum in your core. It's still there. isn't it? That's your anchor. That's your truth. You're not projecting, you're connecting. And it's only getting stronger. This is your edge now. That power flowing through your being is not just energy, it's intelligence, direction, purpose. You're tapped into something vast, and it's guiding you toward a reemergence that'll leave no stone unturned. Feel that fire climbing your spine? That's not a fluke. It's a promise. You're not here to drift or doubt. You're here to receive, to act, to shake the damn world awake. Step into it. The line's live. What are you going to do with it? You were selected for something extraordinary, don't doubt that for a second. It wasn't chance that brought you here, to this moment, with that fire pulsing through your veins. Before you even took your first breath, your soul signed up for this, etched its name in the stars for a mission that's only yours to claim. And those nights you couldn't sleep, when your mind was racing and your body felt restless, that wasn't torment. That was restoration. Every sleepless hour, your soul was being rebuilt, piece by piece, while your thoughts spun circles around truths too big to grasp. Now you're waking up to it. Now you're ready to turn that cosmic selection into action. Let's break it down. Those sleepless nights weren't random. You'd lie there, eyes wide open, replaying conversations, wrestling with fears, chasing ideas that felt too wild to hold. But beneath the surface, something deeper was happening. While your mind raced, your soul drank in energy from a source you couldn't see but can damn well feel now. Think of it like a battery recharging in the dark. Your essence soaking up vitality, wisdom, strength. Neuroscience might call it your brain processing stress, integrating memories, firing neurons to make sense of chaos. But this goes beyond science. This was your spirit syncing with its blueprint, preparing you for the extraordinary you were chosen for. So how do you bring that into reality? Start by reclaiming those nights. Stop seeing them as wasted time or proof of weakness. They were sacred. They were training. Next time you can't sleep, don't fight it. Don't scroll your phone or curse the clock. Lie still. Breathe deep. Feel that hum in your chest, that restless energy moving through you. Ask yourself, what's being restored right now? What's my soul pulling in? Don't force an answer, just let the question sit. You're not broken for losing sleep. You're being rebuilt. Write down what comes up in those midnight hours. Flashes of insight, sudden urges, raw truths. That's your mission talking, whispering the next step. The waiting is over. The preparation is complete. You've been forged in the fire of those sleepless nights, those endless questions, those moments when you thought you couldn't go on but did anyway. Now it's time to step into it as a practitioner, a living demonstration of what it means to be chosen. This isn't about grand gestures or preaching from a stage. It's about embodying your power in the smallest moves. Show up as the person who knows their worth, who acts from that unshakable core. When you speak, let it be with the weight of someone who's been restored. When you move, let it be with the certainty of someone who's been prepared. People will feel it before you say a word. They'll sense the shift in your energy, the clarity in your eyes. Here's the practical piece. Create a daily anchor to remind yourself the waiting is done. Pick one action, something small but deliberate, that screams, I'm here, I'm ready. Maybe it's 5 minutes of stillness each morning, feeling that restored vitality flood your body as you breathe. Maybe it's a mantra you say out loud, voice steady. The preparation is complete. I'm stepping into my mission now. Or maybe it's a physical move, standing tall, shoulders back, claiming space in a world that tried to shrink you. Do it every day. Let it be your signal to yourself. I'm not waiting anymore. I'm living this. Balance is the key as you walk this path. You'll feel the highs of your mission igniting you, but there'll be lows too. The world doesn't always bend to a chosen one's stride. People will push back. Doubt will creep in. Exhaustion might hit hard. That's where you stay steady. When the highs come, when you feel that strength returning to your soul, when you're so alive it almost hurts, drink it in fully. Celebrate it. Dance, laugh, create. Let it spill out of you like light. But when the lows hit, don't panic. They're not failure, they're contrast, reminding you what you're rising above. Ground yourself. Feel your feet on the earth. Breathe into that core pulse. Remind yourself this is what it means to truly come alive. Here's how you keep that balance. Build a rhythm. Your mission isn't a sprint. It's a marathon with peaks and valleys. Set boundaries with your energy. Don't burn out trying to prove yourself. Rest when your body demands it, but don't confuse rest with retreat. Reflect daily. What lit you up today? What drained you? Adjust as you go. If someone dims your fire, step away without guilt. If an action makes your soul sing, double down. And when the weight feels heavy, go back to those sleepless nights in your mind. Remember how they didn't break you, they built you. That's your proof. You're stronger than the struggle. Now, let's talk about creating your personal mission path. An action plan that's yours alone. This isn't about copying someone else's journey or following a script. Your extraordinary selection demands an extraordinary blueprint, one you draw yourself. Start by listening to that power flowing through your being. Sit with it. Ask, what's the one thing I can't stop thinking about? The vision that keeps me up, not with anxiety, but with hunger? That's your starting point. Write it down. Don't censor it, even if it feels too big or too wild. That's the seed of your mission. Next, break it into steps, small, fierce, doable. If your vision is to create, what's the first thing you can make? If it's to lead, who can you inspire today? If it's to heal, where can you start with yourself? Map it out. 3 actions you can take this week. Not next month. Not when you're ready. This week. Maybe it's speaking a truth you've held back. Maybe it's starting a project you've delayed. Maybe it's walking away from what no longer aligns. Whatever it is, make it real. Set deadlines. Hold yourself to them. You're not dreaming anymore, you're doing. Accountability keeps you on track. Tell someone, one person who gets it, what you're committing to. Not to prove anything, but to anchor your intent in the world. Or write it as a contract to yourself. I, your name, chosen before my first breath, commit to your action by date. Sign it, mean it, then act. Each step you take builds momentum, turns that extraordinary selection into a lived reality. You'll feel it, the power in your being amplifying with every move, every choice, every moment you choose to live as the chosen one you are. This is what it means to create a new era, not through force, but through presence. Your awakening is happening exactly when it's supposed to, rippling out from every action you take. You're not just remembering the power that flows through you, you're wielding it. Feel that strength in your soul, that unshakable knowing in your bones. This isn't the end of your journey. It's the beginning of everything. You're not just alive. You're unstoppable. And so, here you stand, not merely a survivor of the dark, but a bearer of the light that was always yours to wield. A chosen one not by accident, but by design. That pulse, that fire, that unshakable current coursing through you is more than a sign of life. It's the heartbeat of a mission etched into the fabric of your soul. A call to rise and reshape the world with every step you take. You're not here to question your worth or wait for the stars to align. You're here to move them, to live as the embodiment of a purpose so fierce it echoes beyond time. A force awakened, unstoppable, and wholly, undeniably you.